What do you do when everyone is working against you or trying to bring you down? Here's a lesson from the Iran-Israel conflict to help you live your best life for this new Islamic year, 1447. And if you like this content and want to see more like this, be sure to like and subscribe. For over 40 years, Iran has been targeted with sanctions by mainly Western countries. Sanctions imposed on the country itself, on firms and individuals within Iran. These sanctions targeted its economy, its financial system, technology, travel, trade, and military defense. Pretty much every aspect of their existence. The goal was to isolate Iran from global trade, restrict their growth, and undermine their progress, and force regime change. In addition, today more and more, it's been observed that Netanyahu has been campaigning for decades, 33 years by some accounts, that Iran is this close to having a nuclear bomb. And yet, during the conflict, many key stakeholders admitted that this was a false narrative. There was no evidence by inspectors that this was the case. What was Iran's response? They didn't spend time complaining about it, crying victim, or fighting their aggressors. Instead, they found ways to survive and in some ways to thrive. They found countries they could trade with and they deepened those relationships. They found workarounds for some of the sanctions, and they developed what they call the resistance economy to replace imports with locally produced goods. There's a lesson here for when you are being sabotaged by other people. One is that some people will do anything they can to break you down. They would lie, they would undermine, agitate, and excite others to act against you, perhaps, if they don't like you or if they see you as a threat. And they will do everything by any means necessary to bring you down. How do we deal with this? As Muslims, the Quran tells us in chapter 3, verse 186, and you will certainly be tried in your property and in yourselves. You could spend your time thinking and talking about how unfair it all is. But if you do this, this is exactly what they want. To cripple you or handicap you or slow your progress. Instead, if you focus on building yourself and achieving your goals, using what you have, doing what you can, and working towards what you want to achieve, you will see your own progress and your detractors will lag behind, paying attention to you or not focusing on their own progress. The Quran tells us how to deal with this in chapter 73, 10 to 11, where it says, have patience with what they say and leave Allah to deal with them and bear with them for a little while. Of course, it goes on to say in chapter 94, verse 7, when you are free from your immediate task, still work hard, still keep striving.